Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live?
From Rocca Pizzeria here on Government Street at Mid-City. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Randy McKay with us today. Wes Reynolds with us today. Just got to be absolutely continuing to be giddy.
Dude,
Wes Reynolds,
this is enough of him. I'm going to tell him. This Glenn hand patting him on the back, data boys. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. The damn Pacers. I mean, the Hoosiers now 2 years in a row. And
the Colts?
Thank you. No, I was getting to him.
Okay.
Enough with him. Enough, feeling sorry for a poor little Indiana fan, Wes Reynolds. That's his ass today.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
No more. We're angry college football fans, huh?
There's plenty of anger to go around. So we got Wes Reynolds, Randy McKay. Randy McKay, Scott Rabalais, and Wes Reynolds' ass here on the show today. We're here at Rocca Pizzeria.
Wes is our boy.
Yeah. No, look.
Wasn't it cool to kind of put a face with the and spend a little time with him at the cabana, in Vegas and stuff?
That's happened to me before, where you have a recurring guest for a long time before you actually meet them. Yeah, it was great. We really enjoyed everything, but the game was a lot of fun last year.
Yeah,
in Vegas. But so we got a lot to get to. Brian Kelly on the teleconference about an hour ago. No gigantic news. The one note is that he confirmed Ashton Stamps has left the team. Was a starting cornerback a year ago, but had basically fallen into deep reserve role. Was not playing a whole lot Monday. Kelly said that Stamps and Jordan Gilbert might actually qualify for a red shirt. They were trying to protect the red shirt. They'd only played in 3 games apiece. He didn't say anything about Gilbert on the teleconference today, but he said Stamps has left the team. Most of the stuff besides that was that one other couple of injury notes. Bernard Gooden practiced yesterday. He didn't do everything, but he got some individual and team reps. He said he felt good. Whit Weeks is still in the boot. They said it's non-weight bearing, and that they'll talk more about him later in the week. I think it's a pretty fair guess that Weeks is going to be unable to go again this week. Guys in a boot on Tuesday. Nobody's told me anything, but if you guys in a boot and can't put weight on it on Tuesday, I got a hard time believing he can play on Saturday. So, especially with the bye week coming up after this.
Boot usually means it requires a little bit more time.
Yeah. If they could get Gooden back, that would help a lot. His presence was missed in that defensive middle on Saturday. Man, we did the film study yesterday. Richard and I, you can get it up right now, Handycast film study. There were more blown assignments on the defense in this game than the other.
Their offense, their pistol.
Yeah. Than the other 5 games probably combined. Just a couple of absolute. Pavia's run, the first touchdown run in the first half, they literally have 3 players go with 2 on the outside and leave the middle wide open, and that's how Pavia was able to go through basically untouched until he got inside the 5-yard line and scored a touchdown.
This is when you defend in the wishbone, you never want to do it 1 week, right? You want to have an extra time to prepare and things like that. So when they're talking about it's assignment defense, assignment football.
Yeah.
Well, the way he's running this pistol, which has a lot of triple option principles to it, and also can throw the ball, and then he can take a negative situation, like when on the 4th down when the rusher is clean, and he's got to just create and find a running back who's like maybe the 5th option. I mean, so this is like triple option on steroids with him. So it's going to create some confusion. So for you to tell me, and I want to hear more about your biggest takeaways from it. I guess that's the biggest. That's why you mentioned it. But, yeah, this is a headache. And this is the intangible things that he brings to the table besides just oh, wow, man, we could see him eluding the rush, Johnny Football, and making a play and things like that. But when you break down the tape, you see how much more valuable and how much of a headache this guy is to deal with. And then they're going to hit you and be at least able to compete up front.
And these two
You
guys,
know?
that we're talking about that were out. Look, LSU has good depth. I'm not saying that they don't, but these are two guys that have been key in your defensive middle, and that's where that play went. Would it have gone differently if they were in there? Who can tell? There was some really good design stuff.
Charlie, it would have been my point is it would have been a headache for no matter who was in there because of this guy and the way
They're
he's
good.
executing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Again, I've had I don't know 4 nights of sleep on it now. It's up there, man. It's one of my top 5 and what I've seen a quarterback do to LSU, an LSU team.
And, the other thing that they did was they ran some really nice schematic stuff with the tight end. Dixon talked about that. He obviously played the position. He said, look, the play where they run the tight end cross for the touchdown, he says, look, I scored maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns myself on this exact same action. He said, it's really, you think that the tight end is blocking, and they get caught up in the wash.
So late?
Yeah, and they get caught up in the wash.
You can't defend that.
It's very, very difficult to defend
But that requires some protection and some time and some, or some pause. Because the thing about the pistol is the ball is hidden for a kind of a split second, and it causes you to pause. So that allows that guy to freeze. We talk about Nebraska Tom Osborne. Oh, look how pretty this freeze option is.
Yeah.
Well, that's great when you guys can, you have no fear of, getting tackled when you pause on that option look. But no, and they're able to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, was that the same play he scored against Ohio State? One of them? It was similar. It reminded me because he was on the right side and he kind of drifted to the left, right?
Yeah.
To the end zone.
I don't know if he was referring to that one, but he says, I scored multiple touchdowns in my career on this.
I just vividly remember him from the right side, kind of drifting to the left. Just that.
Right. So you had some really nice concepts. You had some times where they caught LSU out of position a couple of times, and really just a couple of times, but there were a couple of big busts.
So early on, we said, man, Baker's going to have some fun with this defense, right? Because they can cover and he can bring guys and things like that. So LSU, in most of their games, have they dictated to the offense? And this was not the case. Vandy was dictating.
Yeah.
Because of their style of play. And it has you on your heels a little bit. It makes you slow. The first thing, my initial, first impression of LSU's defense against Clemson, man, they're not thinking. They're just running. I mean, they're really, really showing their speed. It was a lot more on their heels on Saturday.
Another thing, one of the big strengths of LSU's defense is their outside man-to-man coverage against the wide receivers. Okay, basically, very few balls go in Delane's direction anymore. Why? Because, he's one of the best. I mean, he's zooming up draft boards, and he's played the position outstanding. And I think over on the other side, Woodland has done a nice job. I think Pickett is coming along. That's one of their biggest things. Well, the wide receivers didn't hurt LSU.
Tight ends.
Yeah, it was the tight ends and the
And
quarterback.
they also made some nice catches, too.
They did. They did. Stowers is a really nice player.
Well, we know him. He's no commodity, but they got another 6'7" guy that he made a nice catch. So
They basically, LSU on the outside, the wide receiver, those guys didn't hurt LSU at all.
Yeah.
So another one of the big strengths. The other thing that jumped out, and this is recurring on the offensive side, is that there are just a lot of poor techniques on the offensive line. We highlighted 2 plays on the film, which one of them was a 9-yard gain for Harlem Berry. The other one was a 10-yard gain, and there are literally they gained 9 yards on a play where 3 of the 5 offensive linemen used poor technique. And I'm not talking about intricate, high-level stuff. We're talking about get your head around, where your first step is, things like that, where Barry's 9-yard gain, which is a nice gain, we're sitting there going, all right, we're complaining about a 9-yard gain. There hadn't been like a ton of those. Well, if it's, again, one person on one play makes one step, it's a touchdown instead of a 9-yard gain. And there's just a lot of they don't finish. They don't finish. And it's not like they're not hustling. It's not like they're trying. But they quit on plays too early. And we showed 3 or 4 times that. And I'll give you another example. And I don't want to harp on this kid bad because I thought he played well in the game on Saturday, which is Harlem Berry. Harlan Berry, what's the reason he didn't get into the lineup early? Like every freshman running back, doesn't know the pass protections. Well, there's a play, this is very early in the game, where not only does he hit the guy, he put this defensive lineman on the ground.
Wow.
Okay. Now the guy was engaged, but he comes off and Barry puts him on the ground. Problem is that Barry kind of stands over him and says, "Hey, look, I just put you on the ground." And that's why I get sacked, because there was good coverage on the play.
That guy got up off of the ground and sacked
No,
him?
not that guy.
Okay.
Another
Oh,
guy.
you want him to go knock another guy?
No,
you
I
want
want
him to hit two guys?
No, I want his job is to chip on the guy and then leak out to be the safety valve.
Oh.
Nussmeier doesn't have the
Oh.
safety valve because Barry is kind of standing over the the
He's
that
young,
he just
Charlie.
flat. I know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I said, I don't want to harp on him because I thought he played well.
It's a
But
big jump. It's a big jump
it-
from St. Martin's.
Look,
Episcopal.
I'm glad he knocked the guy on the ground.
Yeah,
That's real
yes,
progress
yeah.
for him.
Yeah,
But it's
show,
things
showing
like
a
that.
little bit more dog than your offensive lineman.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and there's a couple of times where the linemen, you just don't make the right step. Okay. Some of them are younger. Some of them are older.
You know how many times he blocked at St. Martin's?
Probably zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to harp on him, but it's you want to know
think
why?
he's-
Want to know why he got sacked there? That's
why.
why.
He's coming around. He's coming
Yeah,
around.
I like him. I
No,
think
he's
he's
gonna
going
be-
to be a fine player.
he's-
I'm not.
and that
I
shows
hate
you-
singling
that-
him out, but
that's
it's the
one of those
play.
uncommon plays where it shows you a little bit of his toughness.
Yes.
Because you're all-purpose backs, and he's built like an all-purpose back. He's a home run threat. He can catch the ball pretty good. He can certainly he's got some shake. He's not tremendously big. So for him to show your all-purpose back, to show you, I mean, he could be your feature back. He
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah.
But to show a little toughness like that, that's a good sign.
I think it's a great teaching moment. You can say, look, you did 90% of what you were supposed to do on this play. You were in the right position. You're physical. You make a play. Now, all you got to do is turn around and be the safety valve. So it's a good teaching
My point is saying, Game 7, this is what we need out of you to be more successful. We need you to knock the guy down. We need you then go out and be a target.
Yeah.
After playing at a 2A, 1A level.
Right.
Just a year ago.
He's
lot.
made terrific progress. I
yes,
think
yes.
through 7 games. Check out the film study. It's worth your time. It's about 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes long, and you can see a lot of what we're
Dixon
talking about.
thinks of it because stats are funny, and it's just it's one of those stats where like, okay, and you would think that it's more of a stat for LSU football history. You would think of Les Miles, and that is last in snaps per game, because they're going to huddle, they're going to run the ball, and what it is like, okay, that's fine. Chavis, his defensive, that's why it's yards per snap, because people play different. There's a bigger variance in pace of play
Tempo,
in
yeah.
college football
Yeah.
than it is in the NFL. So you got to, yards per play defense for the military schools are completely different than what, a Steve Spurrier team or a Chip Kelly team, at Oregon and things like that. But I'm curious, when you're that extreme, 3 snaps less than North Carolina, who's 135 in snaps per. I'm interested what Dixon's interpretation of that is.
We'll ask him on Friday. He'll be here on the show. I'll be able to put the first one up there. I can tell you that during the
What's yours?
The film, it's going to sound simplistic.
Can't
but
run the ball. I mean, no, that would
don't
be
make
a
a-
running the ball. That would be a running the ball stat.
they don't make enough first downs. I mean, to
Ah,
control
they-
they go off the field too doggone often. They
They
don't.
got to
make-
be up there in 3 and outs. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, and or 4 and outs, or 1 first down drives, and then you got to punt. I mean, it sounds simple, right? Why are they not running more plays? Because they don't make enough first downs.
Well,
Now, why they don't make
did-
enough first downs is a whole other conversation.
they had a dip on Saturday, but the team that's badass coming in on 3rd down. It's coming to Tiger Stadium.
Oh yeah, the
Opponents went 3 for 35 in a
Yeah.
3-game stretch. That was about almost 50% by Taylor Green, Bobby Petrino, and the Arkansas Razorbacks, who put up 500 yards in back-to-back games since Petrino's taken over. But still, I mean,
you had 9 drives on Saturday, which is a low number. Usually that number is closer to 12 for a game. And you had
Oh
14.
no, LSU. It's not that non is what you have this year.
Well, right.
I've got to believe that. Yeah.
Because you had 14 first downs. You know, you're averaging a little, maybe a first down and a half per drive.
And you played a team that's in the hundreds as pace of play too.
Yeah, it's going to be magnified against a team like Vanderbilt.
And what is a wishbone team? What is Air Force, Army, and Navy? What do they like? They love 3rd and 2s.
Yeah,
they love 3rd and 3s.
Right.
They rarely have negative plays, so they're really good at it. And then a tight end based passing attack is just. It is built to sustain and keep the ball away as well.
And it was always like this, but even more so now. If you're on 3rd and 3 and you don't have a negative play, guess what? How many times are you going forward on 4th down? Almost always.
Rocca Pizzeria here on Government Street. And don't forget our catering menu as well. We do sandwich trays, hero tray. The hero sandwich is outstanding. The chicken cutlet, that's Max's favorite. It's one of my favorites as well. The meatball, the eggplant parm, you do 4 sandwiches, you're cut into quarters, 16 total. The local St. Bruno bread bakery buns that we have over here. So really, really good. House smoked wings, antipasti, salumi and cheese boards, hummus, salads. We do the salads, catering trays. Then the entrees, spaghetti and meatballs, whole smoked brisket, chicken parmesan, rigatoni sorrentino, the ricotta filled pasta shells, and the sides like the Brussels sprouts, mac and cheese, the patate dolce with that's the smashed sweet potatoes and sweet spice with lemon aioli and sweet spice pumpkin seeds. Desserts as well, tiramisu bread pudding, cannolis, and a pint of gelato. It's our catering tray that is available for, hey, you want to bring a tray to the game this weekend? Give us a 24-hour advance notice, and we'll have it ready for you. And around the corner, we're getting into the second half of October. It is Thanksgiving holiday orders. I've did it the past 2 years for Thanksgiving over here. It is really good. The pickup is very efficient. You do it online, pay online. It's easy. When they set up, they've got the cooler truck all set up. Check off your name. I mean, you're in and out in less than 5 minutes. It's unbelievable how easy it is. And then the instructions are simple as it gets. Charlie can even do it, okay? I mean, don't bring up that chef contest we had, okay?
I just read the directions better. All.
yes. I cook from my eyeballs. Yes,
yeah.
A feel. So anyway, you're an analytic chef, but it's really easy. It's good, and it's really efficient to pick it up. You pick it up on Thanksgiving Eve on that Wednesday at your convenience. So holiday, taking your orders now for Thanksgiving dinners over here at Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. The Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, 1930, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now bowling crabs at Sammy's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday starting at 5 p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Our on-demand section is brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com, supporting Louisiana farmers since the 1930s at Supreme Rice. I want to ask you something. And I think we can probably ask a lot of our experts because we're going to start the pick section and we're going to go all the way to Friday. This is what we do every week. If you had no allegiance to LSU at all, if you were you, but you lived in California or Illinois or somewhere else.
To add a degree from Nevada, Reno.
Okay. I was going to say, don't say Cal Berkeley. I mean, don't give yourself too much
How
credit.
about
Nevada,
UCSD in
yes,
La Jolla?
perfect.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So LSU is just another school, like NC State's just another school. And you looked at this situation on the board where LSU is getting points at home, where they have been exceptionally good, and A&M has won 7 straight games, but this is the second game of back-to-back SEC games, which we know is tough. That's an angle, okay? Well, sometimes it is. I mean, it's not something I would just dismiss. I would consider it. It wouldn't be the only thing I based it on. But if you looked at this line and you said LSU's a 2.5-point underdog at home, what would you think if you didn't have any allegiance to LSU at all?
Well, Charlie, that's how I kind of handicapped to begin with. And this is why
I know, but people would perceive you as an LSU guy because you're from here, even though that's
I'm an LSU guy.
Okay.
But I mean, you got a handicap. You got to put that aside.
Okay,
I mean,
so put it aside. Put it aside, and then
I already told you. I think this is a spot where we've seen historically where LSU will surprise some people. I mean, we can go to Nashville in a shaky performance, and you come back home. And against a top 5 team. I mean, that's one of them. And it's it's where everybody is singing the praises of one team, and everything goes. A&M's got a ways to go. A&M's power rating is not where their ranking is, by the way. So that's one thing. It's a road game in the SEC in a hostile environment, which is I'm always given. I think maybe most power rated handicappers will give 3.5 points round. I'm giving 5 each way. If this is played at College Station or Baton Rouge, it's a 10-point difference. That's I've seen enough of that. No, I think the spot for LSU is really good. Everybody's telling them how much they suck. Everybody, and that's where your pride is on the line. And listen, everybody's angry, and it is the era of angry college football fans. Because there's a lot of the narrative out there by a lot of people. Man, isn't this great? The competitive balance in the new faces in college football. Well, not with the traditional powers.
No, not everybody.
And listen, Alabama's got the highest power rating in the conference right now. They are so close to having a couple more losses. So close. Georgia turned the ball in the red zone, in a 3-point game. I mean, Missouri turned the ball over in a 3-point game on the last possession. I mean, they're so close. Diego Pavia, turning it over twice in the red zone. I mean, they didn't come close to having a turnover. It is this whole dominant program. And Nick Saban said, that's fine. We're tearing down the goalposts again. But we want to be a program where we expect this. We want to be a dominant program and not just a good team. The program it's year to year. I don't care who you are, what your resources are. It's very, very difficult. And the data is there's so many one-score games in the SEC. I don't know all the numbers in the data, but it's got to be at an all-time high.
The average.
It's got to be at an all-time high.
A week ago, I didn't check it this week, but a week ago, the average margin of victory in the league was in single digits. Okay.
I think Kelly brought it up. He's like, he said it might have been 10, and it was 17
and
a year ago.
And there was another coach that brought it up, too. It might have been Kirby, I forgot.
So it's a little bit more, but the amount of one-score games is at an all-time high. When you have Kentucky, which we think is the weakest program in the league right now, and I know it could be a decent job, and they've got facilities, and they've got a little bit of money, but it's a weak. When you out first down 26, the most resource-rich program in this era of college football, where resources and money count the most, when you out first down them 26-8,
the playoff team the last 2 years. I wanted to take a step out of the bubble because we live here.
No,
okay?
I love this. I love the spot for LSU. I love the spot
because all I hear is LSU's down, LSU's terrible. You got to fire the coach. It would be a miracle if they won this weekend. They are a 2.5-point underdog at home. This wouldn't even be I understand A&M's in the top 5. This wouldn't even be a shocking upset.
No.
LSU's lost one time at night in Tiger Stadium under Brian Kelly in 3.5 years.
LSU's undefeated at home this year. LSU's defense is better at home this year.
LSU's everything is better at home this year. The offensive stats might not bear it out, but they played better, certainly, to my eyes. If we were somewhere else, we would look at this and go, this is a good buy low spot on LSU, if we didn't have any allegiance to it. Now, you get close into it and you go, man, they can't block anybody. They can't do that. It's really not quite that bad. Now, they go get beat by 30 on Saturday. I'll say,
I told you this. What's this got to do with having LSU affiliation? LSU better than Arkansas? You damn right.
Yeah.
Way better. And Arkansas was competitive against A&M.
They were very competitive.
I'll use your line. I never had the field. They never had the ball in a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Okay. So they never were a threat to it, but they were competitive.
They were very competitive. Now, I will stick to I think that Arkansas is a better matchup because they can score a bunch of points. And I don't know if LSU can score a bunch of points. I think LSU can win a 24-21 game against A&M. I don't know that they could win a 45-42 game against A&M. That was the score that A&M beat Arkansas by last week. So I think Arkansas might be a little bit better matchup because the quarterback's hot right now, and LSU's quarterback is not. But it doesn't mean Nussmeier doesn't have a big game in him. Here at Rocca Pizzeria.
85 LSU in third down conversions offensively.
Yeah, in the nation.
Not good.
Sounds about right.
Not good.
And I know you don't have time to do it, but take out the Southeastern game. You know.
Well, no.
But you got to do that for everybody.
Everybody's
right.
got
That's
everybody's
right.
got FC. No. We can't do that. We're as we get deeper and deeper, more data points with the statistics. LSU, you can tell me there. And remember, you thought this stat before the season. Well, Nussmeier was favored to have the most passing yards in the SEC. Remember?
Yeah.
It's not. That's what was projected.
Because he had over 4,000 last year.
Yes, he should be better.
There was reason for that.
Yes. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of South Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team of bankers at United Community Bank, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Muir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, and David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson, Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's.
Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Big dog, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Weather's beautiful this time of the year. Weather, don't come down here in the in August, like that desert heat that we had to walk to the Raider Stadium, Allegiant Stadium for LSU USC. He cherry picks, Charlie. He comes down here and at the end of March for March Madness, for the Final Four.
He's
he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
So fall is a good time to come down here as well. You in Vegas or in Colorado right now?
Yeah, I'm down here at my place in Arizona here, and I'll be going back to Colorado probably the week they play. I'm going to the Raider Denver game here on the Thursday night.
So it's safe to say you're a Broncos fan, huh?
Not really.
Okay.
I grew up actually.
You're the Vikings fan, right? Are you Vikings?
Yeah, a little bit of Vikings
Okay.
fan, but growing up there.
I got you. Let me ask you, and I know you specialize in NFL, but Charlie asked me this: put aside my LSU allegiance, and give me what do you think about sort of this spot for LSU? Everybody's ready to kind of ship past the hat and buy out Brian Kelly around here, because it stings a little bit more when you lose to Vanderbilt and Ole Miss as opposed to Alabama and Georgia, but. The spot at Tiger Stadium, Texas A&M, Arkansas was competitive this past Saturday for their first road conference game. And I think that A&M, but most people have them, their power rating is strong, but not quite as strong, not quite as high as their ranking. This spot Saturday night for LSU catching 2.5 at home.
Yeah, probably a pretty good spot for LSU. I remember over the years, I was told by many people I know that bet college football that going into Death Valley on a Saturday night, the reason it's called Death Valley, it's a death trap for the opposing team. So being an undefeated team here with confidence coming in against a team that's a little wounded right now, and there's probably some value there with LSU to pull the outright victory.
Now, trust me, on Saturday afternoon in campus, there'll be a lot of bitching going on, okay? But when after they have a couple, and I speak conservatively, and get in there and it's nice night, and hopefully they're gonna be into it. Now, if they're getting housed, they'll turn on you. But if they, and I just expect to be, man, when you're told how bad you are. I mean, your pride usually is on the line, and you come out. And I've seen that history. There's a little bit of history in this spot for us. It's history for everybody. So, see, Charlie. So there you go. It's a spot. The spot is a favorable one for LSU. Now, how about this? How about this series? How many years the home team has won?
Oh gosh, the last
time 8-9 in a row.
The last time the road team won. Give me a second here. I got to think about this.
I go back to Johnny Manziel, where LSU beat him there.
I don't think it's quite that far. Give me a second. I'm going through games in my head. Ask him another question.
You can look it up.
I'm gonna look it up while you ask him another question.
Randy, it's 8 years in a row. Thank you,
8.
Max.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Max is here now. So 8 years in a row. See. Well, good thing we have Max around here. But Charlie, some dead weight, huh, Randy?
I am. Let's mop the floors.
Randy, let's get to your picks. I was with you. Are we done betting on Miami? There was an old Sun Bowl where Lane Kiffin was the coach at USC, and they're playing Georgia Tech in El Paso, and it's about 0 degrees. And one thing, he made sure he was the warmest. He looked like he was an Eskimo. He was so bundled up. It reminded me watching McDaniel on Sunday at Cleveland. All he was worried about was being bundled up. And, man, that was pitiful. They got beat by like 3 touchdowns in Cleveland. Did they even have 200 yards? But my goodness, huh?
Yeah, you pretty much got to write them off here probably until you get a coaching change, and then who knows after that. But we'll wait and see here. And, of course, they play another team this week in the Falcons. That's you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get Jekyll and Hyde out of them, too. So You never know what you're going to get in the NFL sometimes with some of these teams. But yeah, just a nothing effort out of that team in a game I thought they had to have and didn't do it.
Real quick on the Falcons, specifically in Penix, and we'll have to see. It's a little bit of wait for the injury report officially, but man, his home and away splits are drastic, to say the least. How much you put into that in your handicap?
Yeah, you got to put a little bit into that, and you got to put a lot into it with these offensive lines, and we'll get to that in a couple picks here coming up. But yeah, you got to look at that because these young quarterbacks sometimes the friendly environment's a good spot to back them and a good spot to go against them. So you definitely got to look at that early in the career.
All right, Charlie, when'd you get on the Titans? Against the Raiders a couple of weeks ago. So you betting on the Titans again, Charlie? No. Okay, he's done. I got a gift. I got a Titans T-shirt from Charlie because I was on him last year as well. You fading them this week. The Chargers are in Nashville this week. Chargers are 7. It's up to 7.5 now against the Titans.
I got the Chargers on Thursday night.
Yeah, the Titans are playing the Colts, Jimmy.
I'm ahead. I'm sorry. This damn. I got to get
Max. Get
tomorrow night -3, -120 at our local shop at the Queen here, the DraftKings outlet. Vikings, and it looks like Carson Wentz. And this your team. Are you hearing that McCarthy is physically? Is he healthy enough to play? But they're going with Wentz here. Are you hearing any of that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happens, and it seems like O'Connell doesn't have the confidence yet in McCarthy to take the reins over, and he wants to play it out with Wentz. It seems like here to me. And unfortunately, the Vikings' offensive line is still banged up, and I like to go against banged-up offensive lines on the road. You've seen that with Houston last week. They're banged-up offense or a bad offensive line. That they're not banged up, but they're just bad, and that caused them a lot of trouble. But you'll see something similar probably in this game here on a short week, and the Charger team I trust a little bit more. Herbert, a quarterback, and to bounce back after that, that poor defensive effort. This Minter's supposed to be one of the better defensive coordinators, and we'll see if they're up for this Viking team that they should have success against. So, laying the points here with the Chargers on a short week.
All right, Chargers -3, and in that one. Going to your next pick, and one of my angles is that standalone game now was part of a Monday night doubleheader, but the Falcons, they look like they won the Super Bowl against Buffalo. They were charged up, so it usually is a letdown spot. Usually it's a recency bias. The odds makers will inflate the number a little bit, and we saw a real flat spot in San Francisco on Sunday night. Now San Francisco, with all of the injuries that they had, they travel to Houston. Houston is only 1 here at home on Sunday.
Yeah, do or die game here for the Houston team here, coming off that game we predicted that they would struggle up there in Seattle. Seattle tried to give that game away many times with 4 turnovers, but this Houston defense does do that to opponents, and I think they'll do that here as well. Very one of the best defenses I think in the league. They're out performing teams, even though they have a losing record. If you look at their defensive splits to winning, we got a 5-2 49er team comes in there real banged up, and that should help this Houston offense. The offensive line not very good, like we mentioned, but now they're at home, and that helps a bad offensive line against a banged up San Francisco defense. So I see Houston bouncing back here after that poor performance there on Monday Night Football.
Denver in that unbelievable comeback. This is the second time this year that Bo Nix, down 14-plus points in the fourth quarter, leads his team to a comeback. Looks like he's more comfortable just not thinking and just scrambling in the hurry up and just because Sean Payton's play calling is really put on display how little confidence he has in him at some times. But here comes the Cowboys and Prescott with all of the passing numbers. C.D. Lamb now healthy again with Pickens. And they're high flying against maybe the best defense in the NFL this year. So Broncos, it's a 325, only 3 games in that 305, 325 slate. Broncos 3 or 3.5 plus a little juice on this one, Randy.
Yeah, I'm laying the 3 here with the home team. Confidence after that crazy game that you just mentioned, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter, hopefully gives us offensive confidence against still a bad Dallas defense. If you want to look at this team, of course Daniels got hurt last week, and Mariota made some mistakes when he came in there. But I'm going to take defense over offense here. I think this Bronco team will have some success here on defense, holding down that Dallas attack. Still a little suspect on the running game here with Dallas. Sure they can throw it to, Lamb and Pickens like you mentioned. See if they get time. I got a stronger defensive line here going against this offensive line for Dallas, and on the other side, I think Denver's offensive line, which is pretty strong, will have some success against this weak Dallas defense. So I could see them getting out and winning with margin here. So Denver Broncos for me.
All right, Survivor conversation here. 3 considerations that I'm looking at this week: Cincinnati, Atlanta, or New England. Any thoughts there?
Cincinnati, New England, or
Atlanta at home against Miami, New England at home against Cleveland, or Cincinnati at home against the Jets. Tyrod Taylor expected to start there, who got some late action on Sunday.
I still have New England available. If I didn't have Indianapolis, I'd probably play them in this spot. So out of the 3, I'd have most confidence probably in New England, probably second Cincinnati, and then third, of course, Jekyll and Hyde, Dirty Bird there against Miami.
Yeah, the Colts are 2 touchdown favorites. I forgot to mention them at home against Tennessee. They won't be favored by that again the rest of the year, so that's an obvious choice as well.
Yeah, you still have Tennessee for most losses, too, so you got a little play there, I think, don't you, that I recommended before the season.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they got that one fluke win, and of course, we got to worry about the Jets, but, that's still in play. And, I got, as far as worst teams, I have the Jets and Tennessee, probably even.
What your thoughts on Rattler versus Shuck? He had his worst start of the season this past Sunday, did Rattler, but his numbers for overall this year are considerably better than most people projected. Have you seen enough of Rattler to this point to give Shuck some look, or no?
I think if I was a coach, I'd probably still stay with Rattler, depending on what Shuck is looking like in practice. Of course, we don't know what that looks like, but I'd still probably look at Rattler, and he'll probably have a pretty good week here. It should be an exciting game against Tampa. That should be up and down. So we'll see how that game goes.
Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Big Dog, let's get to it, man. Let's get some winners. We'll be in touch on Sunday to get some late additions if you have any. Thank you, buddy. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
Our buddy Randy McKay checking in with us. Don't forget our friends over at Workbox and WorkboxLLC.com, 343-4886. Movable storage needs, commercial or residential. Our shipping containers are outstanding for this. Different sizes. Most come with one standard size, not at Workbox. 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. And you want a tool storage container for a job site, custom lunchroom, welders and plumbers, custom work sites, custom safety storage near the plant, customized part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, wooden, metal, customize it any way you need or any way you prefer. Our great team over at Workbox. Martine Sr., Martine Jr., Hannah, Brandy, and Chris. And our second office allows us to extend our reach all the way down to the Gulf Coast, through New Orleans and Baton Rouge to Lafayette and Lake Charles, and everywhere in between. Workbox 343-4886 and WorkboxLLC.com.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. Attention vehicle owners, before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun Hash Browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
News coming out that Jaden Daniels will miss the Commanders game on Monday night at the Chiefs. Marcus Mariota will be the starter for Washington, who just can't quite seem for a while. It's kind of like a failure to launch, Jimmy, off that great season they had a year ago. They let one get away against the Bears that maybe they could have won, and they just got blasted by the Cowboys on Sunday. Now they'll be without Daniels.
Defense giving up a lot, man. And so you talked about some of the close games and, like the Bears game, but they won every close game last year. And they were wondering, is that sustainable? When your rookie quarterback plays that well, can he it's just something to build on. But, man, they've tried to add some pieces, but the defense they've given up gobs of yardage. And, look, Dallas has moved the ball against a bunch of people. But also, they were like 75% on fourth downs last year. Something ridiculous. Probably higher than that. Everything fell their way last year.
Yeah.
But they improved their roster. You thought maybe they were ready to make the step. I thought they would, but Daniels got away with it a lot last year as far as health. He's going to have to protect himself a little bit more. And I know he wants to run, and he's a hell of a threat as a runner. But these young quarterbacks, I mean, he's got to avoid unnecessary hits. You want to use his legs at times, but you got to be selective, man.
This is a hamstring that they're saying is only a 1 week deal.
Yeah, so that's not a wear and tear.
No,
I get it.
So that's what. If I would have thought anything with Washington, if they would have had injuries this year, they signed some old guys. I mean, they re-signed Bobby Wagner. They re-signed Zach Ertz. They brought in Deebo Samuel, who's not necessarily old, but is injury prone.
He's
veteran. Those guys have been fine. It's Terry McLaurin that they've been without. They lost Austin Eckler very early.
Lost a lot of time with him too.
Yeah, in camp they did, and he was the number one guy a year ago. Take a break here at top of the hour, and we're back on the other side. Scott Rabalais from The Advocate is with us. We'll get his thoughts on LSU and Texas A&M live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks in every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in Louisiana who are 21 or older. Licensed through Horseshoe Bossier City and Caesars New Orleans. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now boiling crabs at Sammy's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday starting at 5 p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Get Moss, Max, and Les Tex during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Rocca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Rocca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabalais from The Advocate.
And return here at Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Come by and see us on a gorgeous day here in the capital city. Get a great lunch here. And don't forget about Rocca is catering for the holidays. We'll be telling you more about that as the show goes on. Rab, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sitting out here on my screened-in patio with the little breeze blowing and the sun shining. It's pretty nice, as you said. Beautiful. Belies the mood that a lot of people have here in Baton Rouge. But maybe the mood will be helped by the fact that apparently Tony Vitello is taking the Giants job.
Yeah, it looks like that's been rumored for, gosh, we in day 5 of that, I think. It looks like it's coming to a close now, and he's going to go to the Giants. That's groundbreaking because it's never happened before where a college coach has gone into a managerial job in Major League Baseball without any prior professional experience. Right. I'm not, as an LSU baseball person, at all sorry to see him go. He was a pain in the butt, and he's not the most likable, warm, fuzzy guy unless he's your guy. But you can't argue with the results that he had there at Tennessee. And
no, excellent job there, and something that hadn't been done before. And but I was glad LSU didn't hire him instead of Jerry Johnson at the time because I just don't like him personally.
Yeah, just because I don't like you. Yeah, right. I get it. I'll tell you though, what's interesting to me is, and we'll get this full story why, but if the rumors are correct, the reason that Vitello chose to look outside, his salary was, I think Johnson's went by him, but he was second. He was first, and Johnson went by him with the extension, and he's second. But if you believe some of the rumors, the reason that he got kind of crossways with Tennessee was that the revenue share or the NIL budget, whichever one it was, wasn't enough in his direction. And he was not – it was going to be a real sticking point with him where Tennessee was putting those rev share dollars. And he's not the only coach that is – playing that particular tug of war. And I think, everywhere the football program is going to get the majority of it, but you get these very proud programs that are in non-football sports and pretty much non-men's basketball sports. Tennessee women's basketball, Arkansas baseball, Kentucky basketball. Where's the money coming from? There's a tug of war going on. And to be honest with you, it's happened to LSU too.
Charlie, it's always been that case with the facilities. Mm-hmm. Okay, now it's with your collective. But there's not a coach out there and an athletic department out there that doesn't want better facilities and things like that.
Where do you choose to put your non-football dollars? LSU is putting a lot of them in baseball, put a lot of them in women's basketball. By their own admission, didn't put enough into men's basketball. At Tennessee, where the women's basketball tradition is second to none, or I guess second to UConn maybe. But look,
what have they done outside Pat Summitt?
Well, they're still competitive. They're not that
still a
anymore, but it's still very important up there. It's still a very
Is it
important.
important as baseball? Is it important as baseball?
Apparently it is. Apparently it is. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a poor decision by them. So just my thoughts.
Yeah, and there's Adidas is into that deal, and some of the money was coming from there. Hey, listen, everybody's going to have to make their own.
Well,
their own
women's
decisions.
basketball is more visible than men's baseball.
Yeah.
Right. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the women, everybody wants to, their advertising dollars and marketing dollars to be associated with women's sports right now. It's hotter than ever.
And they sell plenty. They sell plenty tickets up there to women's basketball. Yeah. They're on TV plenty. So that's call it. Individual athletic departments are going to have to make. All right, let's get to the LSU. So you were in Nashville last week. So give me your read on what happened and the aftermath of what happened up in Nashville.
Just the team that deserved to win won the game. That's the first thing. Vanderbilt outplayed LSU in a lot of different areas, and yet LSU had a chance. So they get one stop late at the end of the game. They get a stop and a drive. They got 2 stops at the end of the game finally, and they still had a chance. But it was just. I just thought just about everything was poor, other than the effort Garrett Nussmeier gave. I thought the 2 touchdown passes he threw were both under fire. Guys in his face, backpedaling. That kind of thing, and obviously a great run by Xavier Thomas and a great game by Trey Green. But the defense was lacking, and just dumb-looking mistakes. I mean, could y'all see on TV the play where Vanderbilt was at the goal line? I think when they eventually scored on that 4th and 1, going to the right, and an LSU player ran in behind Pavia to get in position, and another guy ran off. I've never seen anything like that. A guy running through the offensive backfield.
Yeah, I did see that.
And that's one play. That's one thing. And dumb mistakes happen all the time, especially in college sports, because they're not true professionals. But the aftermath is everyone's. You feel like the feeling kind of is that LSU is 2-5 instead of 5-2. I mean, they're talking to players yesterday at interviews. They're going about their business, feeling like, hey, they got a chance to win, go 1-0 this week. All the things we've heard. I don't know if anyone's buying that. That they can go 5-0 the rest of the way and make the college football playoff. Anyone outside their building is buying that. But it's going to be a very interesting game atmosphere in Tiger Stadium Saturday night. I'm thinking of what Thomas Dunson said back in the late 90s. It's like a volcano that can erupt on you or the other team, and I think it's poised to erupt on the home team if things are not going well, especially on offense. So I think LSU does have a chance, though. The point spread, I think, is justified. Where it is, and I think LSU does have a chance in this game. A&M having to play back to back right in the middle of this. Road games in the SEC is very difficult. I don't know why the SEC does that to anybody. I think it's really a poor scheduling on the SEC's part, and it needs to be rectified with the new scheduling format. But it's very troubled times in the kingdom, guys. Very troubled times, but it seems worse than it actually is, maybe.
Okay, to what do you attribute this level of, I'm going to use the word despair, okay? What do you attribute, I've got some thoughts, but I want to hear yours. The level of despair right now here, what do you attribute it to?
That people see, the new era of college football that we are in, and that worried about LSU being a part of it. I mean, LSU is not. Yeah, they contended for a college football playoff berth in 2022. To an effect, they had to win at A&M and beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, which didn't seem likely. But they had a shot right at the end of the season, right? And but it seems like LSU is, kind of drifting into being less relevant, especially compared to other teams in the SEC, with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, and they've been good and bad, so far, but whatever. And concerned about LSU's place in the future of the game. And then look, Brian Kelly, he was touting this team in the preseason. He got everyone's hopes up as much as anybody, right? talking about this is the best roster he's had, and I don't have a lot of time here. I'm trying to get this done, and I think it's like when you build things up, and the balloon looks like it's going to fall flat. It obviously leads to the kind of despair and unhappiness and angst that we've seen, from surrounding LSU football.
Well, they're not alone, and preseason rankings contribute to expectations. And at number 9, and they're below number 9 right now. But preseason number 2, they fired the coach and wrote a check for $50 million. Preseason number 4 or 5, Clemson, Charlie, they're actually not even close. The most accomplished coach that program's ever seen, and their conversations. It's about if he can get it done, if he can move forward in the new landscape of college football. If it's time for a change in Clemson, South Carolina, that's where we are.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And where is the angst coming from right now? The biggest angst. It's coming from the fact that you lost to Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and A&M. 3 programs who have never won anything, okay? Ole Miss hasn't won a conference title since the 60s. Vanderbilt's never won one. And the last time A&M won a conference outright was 1998, okay? We're talking about...
They hadn't lost to him yet, Charlie.
Huh?
They hadn't lost to him yet.
I know, but I'm talking about the angst this week, okay? These 3 programs... And so
impending
Scott,
doom.
Yeah. So Scott, when you say the level of despair is because LSU is dropping from relevance as a program, I got to ask, okay, so the flavor of the week this week is Vandy. Last week it was Ole Miss. Maybe next week it'll be A&M
or Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, I'm willing to say that this team is flawed. Okay, deeply flawed. I don't know if I'm willing to say the whole program is flawed. Now, there's questions. Can you raise the money again to go buy, another roster next year? But it's like, woo, the throwing out the baby with the bathwater when you're 5-2. Now, if they're 5-7 or 6-6, we can have that conversation in a month. But I don't know. I thought that maybe it's just a little bit overdone, and I say that with all of these questions marks around this particular team.
Well, and look, just about any viewpoint has some validity, right? I mean, when you talking about LSU football, no, they're going to get it turned around. No, this is bad this year. No, it's bad going forward. I think part of the problem is people looking at not just this year, but next year. You knew you were facing a difficult prospect next year, where most of your defensive starters are going to be gone. Garrett Nussbaum is going to be gone. Other players on offense are going to be gone. Ashton Stamps has already taken his leave, obviously, and so the question becomes. Is part of it, is Brian Kelly going to be the coach next year? If so, how is he going to accomplish the heavy lifting needed to build another roster and likely hire, rework at least his offensive coaching staff to a degree? Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there that there's going to be some changes, if not wholesale changes, like we saw in 2023 on the defensive side. So I think I think a lot of LSU fans are not looking just at this year and are in despair, but looking at next year and thinking, my God, you really can't hope to be relevant until 2027. Now, maybe anything's possible. Maybe Brian Kelly says, I don't want to do the heavy lifting. I'm out. I'm going to go drink wine and play golf and wait for my call from the College Football Hall of Fame, which will come one day. And then there'll be a new coach, and maybe there'll be excitement around, and they can build a roster. But I think it's going to be difficult. I don't say impossible, because I don't say anything's impossible. But it's going to be very difficult for them to get the kind of money together they got this year, because people want to return on their investment. Yes. I hate to think of it that transactionally when we're talking about college football, which is a very emotional thing. But I think they want to return an investment that they're not seeing this year. If they go 7-5, which I think is the most likely record for LSU right now, it's going to be very difficult for Brian, unless there's some excitement around something really new. Going forward. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that view is. I know, Charlie, you probably think they're kind of stuck with him. They're going to try to make it work next year, and I don't think that's something you can sell a lot of people.
No,
right
it's not an easy sell at all. This is what I know about LSU. when they want to come up with the money, they find it, okay, no matter what it is. I don't think that there's a lot of appetite to buy him out. I really don't. It's not a matter of, oh, man, they couldn't find that money even if they wanted to. No, if they really, really wanted to, they could. But there's no appetite for that. They don't want to scratch that kind of check for somebody to go away. So the question is, how do you get it fixed? And for a lot of people, I'm sorry, he doesn't enjoy the type of base support that most LSU coaches that I've seen had, even at the depths of Les Miles, the absolute depths of Les Miles, and which was not terrible. It wasn't like a losing record. He still had a small portion of that fan base. It's like, that's our coach. He won a national championship. He's our coach. Okay, it dwindled obviously, but there was still some of it. Ed definitely had it when he got dismissed. There was a group of people that group, that core base, that I'm with you, no matter who the coach is, no matter what the record is, no matter what, is smaller. I don't think it's just here either. I think it's all over college football. But he doesn't enjoy that base of support that I'm with you no matter
Charlie
what.
doesn't have his skin on the wall like those coaches did.
No,
okay?
he doesn't.
I mean, it's Nick Saban, his second year.
Not here.
Well, they don't care about what he did before. I mean, he's, the three coaches before he won a national championship. Nick Saban won a conference championship in year 2. Okay? Les Miles won a national championship in year 2.
Miles was in year 3.
Three. Okay. This is year 4 now for Kelly.
Yeah, it is.
Ed Ogeron, he won it in year 2.
Year 3. His third full year.
Permanent 2.
3.5 year.
Okay, well, he's been kind of fortunate to get to a conference championship game and couldn't compete the 1 year in his 4th season. I mean, he doesn't have any skins on the wall here. His overall conference record is fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he doesn't shy away from the expectations. He knows what he was brought here.
He was
said
a
it.
big proponent
I mean,
of it. Sure, yeah.
One guy's eating grass, the other guy's a swamp monster. I mean, I could go there and win an natty, I mean.
Scott, what kind of shot do you give LSU Saturday?
I actually give them a shot. I really do. I'm leaning to picking LSU in this game because for A&M, I know everybody's singing A&M's president, and they're kind of the flavor of the month too. But they've given up over 40 points twice on the road. To very good better offensive teams than LSU, grant you. But I expect even it doesn't look like they're going to have weeks again. I wouldn't think so. Kelly said he's doing odd.
He's in a boot on Tuesday. I don't think he's running on Saturday.
No, he's not. No, I think they got a chance to get Bernard Gooden back for the game. I give LSU a real shot to pull this off. To put in one good. It's a lot of things, and it's the A&M going back-to-back SEC road games. That's not easy. They're in the middle of 3 in a row, like we said, and they've had some flaws too. No one is above being able to be beaten. If Miami can lose to Louisville as a 3-touchdown favorite on their home field, and we saw some of the other defeats we've seen happen this year. Anything can happen. And I think A&M's. I don't think they're going through the season undefeated. So this could be their time to trip up. But anyway, I don't know. I'd ask you guys, what does the point spread say to you about what Vegas says about this matchup?
Said it's a great spot for LSU.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
All right.
We just asked one of our most respected handicappers the same thing, and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
The spot's good for LSU.
Scott, we appreciate your time as always. We'll talk to you next week during the bye.
May you live in interesting times, guys.
Granted.
My buddy Lee Carnio at Go Chevrolet had some electronic issues with the car, so I think what they call those things in the fob, Charlie? I learned about fobs.
Yeah. Fobs are a little pricey.
Yes, but, I mean, I had to get some assistance. And, man, the concierge service, was awesome. So we were doing a show over at Chris's Specialty Foods. And so the driver came up and gave me a loaner car. They took the car in, evaluated. They said, this has to be done, this has to be done. Did the work. Then when it was time, another driver brought it to my home. And, boy, I mean, true concierge service, but had a loaner to use in the meantime. So it is an unbelievable luxury. It's really, really convenient when you deal with a Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet in Laplace. Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine. My buddy Lee Carney, Nick Richard, doing a great job. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing at both of these locations. And I don't just talk about the vehicles from Go Chevrolet or Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. My Chevy Tahoe came from Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet and Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pierre Port Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Port. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Again, Tony Vitello is officially going to the Giants. We'll have more on that here a little bit later on in the hour.
What's
But
that?
It's official now.
Yeah.
Vitello to the Giants. You want to say hello to Wes, who's
I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
You've been waiting to jump his
tired of
butt
Wes
all
Reynolds
day.
coming on and peacocking and spreading his feathers. Oh, everything's so great over here with the damn Pacers, the Indiana 2 years in a row. Now the damn Colts. We're sitting here with the Saints. They're ready to run Brian Kelly off the time. How you doing, Wes?
Yeah, in 49 states, it's just football, but this is Indiana, right?
I mean, what the hell is going on in the sports world? Give me your outside opinion on what's happening with Brian Kelly and LSU. People are angry around here, Wes.
Yeah, look, a lot of expectations, and that's the price you play for being a blue blood, which I believe LSU is. And could get right Saturday, though, if they upset Marcel Reed and Texas A&M, then that maybe keeps a lot of the critics at bay. But, just a lot of expectations down there. And, what really surprises me a little bit about LSU from this year is that the defense has carried the team. It's been the offense that's carried the team over the last couple of years. But Garrett Nussmeier, you thought, okay, Heisman candidate, certainly one of the favorites. And that's just – they hadn't had the juice this year. I don't know what it is. I haven't watched every single LSU game like you guys have, but it's been the defense that I think has been carrying this bunch this year.
There's no doubt. And look, Nussmeier's playing with some injuries, but still, I mean, wow, it's been a rough. Look, I've always said, I told Charlie, the ride on the way up, the ascent of a team, is for a fan base. You're enjoying it right now. I mean, Charlie, how fun was the ride in the early 2000s?
A lot of fun, especially given what had happened before that. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, and the toughest part is the ride down. If you're not used to eating filet mignon, I mean, hamburger steak tastes just fine, Wes.
Hey, Jimmy, what was more fun, 95, 96, and 97 under DiNardo, or
right now?
or Miles 14, 15, and 16? The last 3 years of Miles. Yeah, and Miles had better records, okay, but it was more fun. It was ascending. Miles was going down.
It wasn't a steep climb, but it was a climb.
Yeah.
It was a climb. Your thoughts, because we're asking people, because a lot of people are intrigued, because people are not happy. It's flat out anger in the state, right? What did you call it? What was your
despair?
Despair. Okay. Max, do you want to throw out on a
That's a fair adjective, I think.
Okay, all right. So, but the spot, Randy McKay was just on with us. I think the odds make it 2.5 on the road, back-to-back road games, whatever. Some history tells us in a desperate spot for LSU at night, Tiger Stadium. What do you think about the spot Saturday night, Wes?
I haven't played it yet, but I would lean Tigers actually over Texas A&M because maybe I'm the only one, but I'm still not convinced on the Aggies this year. I just am not as of yet. And look, they've been winning every game, so they've answered every call. Every time you doubt them, they've certainly answered. And Marcel Reed, I still think, is a viable Heisman contender. His odds have been slashed down, I think it's all 10-1 in the market earlier this morning. But, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop because it kind of always does for Texas A&M, right? Every time you think that they're right there, like, okay, this is finally their year, they find a way to stumble at some point. And it might be Saturday night down there in Tiger Stadium. And, I'm noticing that this isn't going to 3 just yet because I do think you'll have some wise guys jump in on Brian Kelly and the Tigers for sure.
8 straight that the home team has won in a series as well. 2-1 last week with your picks, Wes. Stay away from Humans, damn alma mater. We'd be fine. But anyway, UNC could have won the game. Kentucky could have won the game and probably should have won the game. So nice job. Who you got this week in college football?
Yeah, and I did go back to Kentucky, by the way. I took 9.5 against Tennessee. They should have won the game. They had almost 400 yards on a pretty good Texas defense and held Texas to like 179. So that's kind of a bonus here. But a couple I've already played. I played Iowa State on the money line. You're seeing 3s mostly. There's some 2.5 still out there. But I think Iowa State gets BYU this week. And not trying to discredit BYU's win at Utah, I thought Utah made a lot of mistakes, turnovers, penalties. And Kyle Whittingham actually not kicking the field goal when he probably should have. Usually 4th and 3 from the 8. That's a go situation, but that game was low scoring. It was 10-7 in the middle of the third quarter. You know this is going to be points at a premium. You got to try to kick that short field goal, and he didn't. And I thought the game really turned against him and in BYU's favor. I like Iowa State here. I think this is the Big 12, and this is what we saw last year. When a team gets too much prosperity in the Big 12, that's when you go against them. And I think that's the spot here for BYU. And Iowa State really needs this one. They're 2-2, so they're going to be on the outside looking in potentially to get in that Big 12 title game. So I like the Clones here. And then a couple others that I did play. Sticking in the Big 12, I played Houston plus 7.5 against Arizona State. Arizona State had the little mini field storm. They upset Texas Tech. No Beer and Morton, by the way, at quarterback for the Red Raiders. And the Red Raiders, by the way, played Houston earlier this year and absolutely boat raced them 35-11. That's when Morton was playing. Willie Fritz, and you guys are familiar with him from what he did down at Tulane. I think he's got kind of an underrated club down in Houston. And what do they always say? The second year with the new coaching staff is where you see the most improvement. And I think that you're seeing it in Houston right now. So I went ahead and took the Houston Cougars in that spot. And then one more. Let's give a sandwich spot, the hoagie sandwich spot of the week. How about we go to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for Wake Forest? Getting 3.5. There's some 3 out there against SMU. SMU beats Clemson in the revenge spot from losing that heartbreaker in the ACC title game. And they're hosting the U next week. SMU, by the way, is still one of the only undefeated teams in conference play and ACC play. Laying this small number against a Wake Forest team off a bye that doesn't look all that impressive. You need the Demon Deacons outright over SMU.
I'm all over the Demon Deacons this week, and you know the two losses, they're tied at the end of the third quarter against NC State, and then they lost in a 2-point conversion when in overtime. Georgia Tech scored, and then they scored on the first play. They went for it, and it was failed. And how about Rhett Lashley? So undefeated this year in the ACC, undefeated in not the conference championship game, but undefeated in the regular season last year. And I believe they won the American against Tulane the year before. So he's on a 20-game conference game winning streak. So there's a lot of things going on, and I'm not sure that SMU is that strong. I like Wake Forest a lot. Wes, who are we looking at in the NFL this week?
Yeah, let's go. And I faded him last week, and it didn't really work out for me because of the turnovers. The Chicago Bears, by the way, and as I see that they are getting some action against Baltimore, I'm not with that here. Chicago, by the way, I believe they were +3 in the turnover margin last week against the Saints. They are +13 over the last 4 weeks in turnover margin. I think that's unsustainable. They're getting a little bit of action against Baltimore, but I like the Ravens here. With Lamar back, the Ravens are 1-5, and they're only like 5 cents worse to win the AFC North than the Pittsburgh Steelers are. There's still some belief there. They had a bye week. They got healthy. Lamar potentially being back. I think maybe this is the buy at the bottom spot for the Ravens, so I'm on them, even though Chicago, as I'm looking at the screen, currently getting a little bit of support. And then I'm going to take another ugly favorite here, and they're a very small one. And I'll go on the money line. How about the Houston Texans, who looked very unimpressive on Monday night in a national TV spot against Seattle, playing the 49ers, who look relatively impressive considering how injured they are against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football. I don't know how long the 49ers can defy the odds in terms of all these injuries piling up. So Houston Texans for me on the money line over San Francisco.
All right, Houston and Baltimore. Wes, any other details on maybe the Cignetti re-signing as far as maybe promise of budget, player budget, whatever, just some other details. And, well, I mean, what if Cignetti in 4 or 5 years is kind of plateaued? Would they be upset? Or, just some thoughts on this unprecedented commitment by Indiana football.
Yeah, I never thought we'd see the day where Indiana University would pay $11.6 million a year for a football coach. But this is a brave new world, and and I'm not against it. I know it got poo-pooed a little bit on social media by our buddy Paul Feinbaum and all these other people, but what else are you supposed to do? This guy's given you the best success you've ever had in your program's history. Why do you want to mess up a good thing? So if you got to pay a little bit more, you got to pay a little bit more. They found the money somewhere with some different donors to upgrade that salary, and they've upgraded the staff previously in terms of their salary pool, and they're going to do that again. They've made NIL commitments. So Indiana University is making the commitment to football, and then they're not just saying, well, we've had a couple good years, we're just going to let this go and, see what happens. No, they were proactive, and they came to him and said, yeah, we want to keep you here. We want you to retire here. And I don't think Signetti wanted to leave anyway, but he was going to be a fool not to listen to other suitors. So they went ahead and just put the kibosh on that. And I think it's a good thing here. I think the buyout gets reduced to basically nothing if the AD or the president leaves. So he's going to be there for probably at least several more years, and I think that's a good thing. And even if let's say they drop, guys, like they go down in 8.5, 9 games a year or something like that. All of Indiana football fans would have signed up for that in the first place. This is exceeding expectations right now. But this feels like this is just crazy. Like, we just settled for being like Iowa level, where you win 8, 9 games, maybe you win 10 every 5 or 6 years and go to a New Year's Day bowl. But now, we're looking at 2 straight years potentially in the playoffs. Got to not stumble down the stretch here. We're living right with Indiana right now, with Indiana football. And I think that Kurt Signetti is the best thing to happen to this program, and they didn't want to let him go. So I'm all for it, despite what some of the media critics say.
Coming into this year, Indiana history, most losses in college football history at 715. Northwestern 710, 5 behind. That lead is now down to 3. Is there an incentive in there when he's no longer the school's the most losses in college football
stat,
history? Well, I mean, it tells you. I mean, this is. I mean, it's
a glaring
real.
It's a glaring stat.
It's real.
It's a big number.
Michigan has the most. Indiana has the least. So I mean, it's just. Hey, man, I just. It's a different time where he's shown that you can compete at the highest level at Indiana. So why leave? And why go give, more pressure when I'm sure they had to promise him, some player budget, and that commitment as well. So just share the wealth a little bit, Wes, with us down here at Baton Rouge. Okay? Huh? I mean, come on, man.
I feel so bad for you guys with your national power program over the years. Like you were talking about dining on filet mignon, man. We were having the cheapest ground chuck that you could have for about 40 years at Indiana.
Spam eggs Benedict, huh? I mean,
oh goodness, man. 10-day-old bologna, you name it. That's what Indiana was dining on.
Bologna and ramen. Wes, always a pleasure, man. Follow Wes on Twitter, X at Wes Reynolds 1. Thank you, buddy. Good luck to y'all this week.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you like that stat, huh?
Well, it's a huge number. I mean, it's not one of those over the last 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years.
Here's some of them. Here's entering this year, Indiana 750. Northwestern, the second most losses ever. They're 5-2. Rutgers, which Rutgers record? They have the third most. Rutgers this year is 3-4. 3-4. Wake Forest, they're 5-2. Kansas has a winning record, right?
They're 4-3.
Iowa State. These are the most losses in the history of college. Iowa State.
It's a different world. Yeah, it's a different world. Tulane. That's another.
Hullabaloo.
Hey, the next thing you're going to tell me is Vanderbilt's going to be favored against LSU. Oh, wait, sorry, that was Dustin.
Next thing I'm going to tell you is Holden Mayo's going to the kosher Cajun.
It looked good. I watched the whole thing. I had to see what he was going to do with that. I watched the whole thing.
We're going to Pelicans game for my birthday on Monday night. I got one Jewish guy in Baychuck, and I got the kosher Cajun review with Holden Mayo.
I think it's
what is going on?
I think it's a great move on your part. I mean, only a couple games in the season, you got at least a 50-50 chance that Zion's going to be healthy. I mean, it's only a couple of games into the season. You got a shot.
Season starts tonight.
Yes.
Hey, we slipped in one little NBA pick last night in Otterlocks. Got the brooms out. Little 3-0 nights. That's all right.
That's very, very, very good. We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, man, listen, your situation is unique. place you are in your life, how old you are, how much your income is. You want to be able to maximize those retirement investments. You want to be able to have that peace of mind. It comes with a lifelong relationship with your financial advisor. That's what we've had with Coastal Capital Advisors and Phil Fontenot. Their staff has done a great job over the years for us, and feel pretty doggone good about where we are. You can actually talk to the guys and tailor-make a plan for you and your family and for all your investment needs. Coastal Capital Advisors. Go to coastalcapitaladv.com. Talk to Phil Fontenot, on his people on his staff. They will help you out. Remember, FINRA SIPC. Coastal Capital Advisors. coastalcapitaladv.com. Take a break. Come back here at Rocca Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Rocca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Rocca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, and now increasing the family, the Pierre-Port Store, the LaRose Store, and the Lockport Store, not only for all your hardware, but also for all of your outdoor kitchen, your tailgating supplies at these stores, fishing gear down at the Thibodeau Store. Online, it's thethibodeaustore.com. That'll get you to the website of any of the properties. Of course, you can get same-day pickup on most items and delivery on a lot of the items. Like if you want lumber, you get that out of the Pierre-Port Store. It can help you out. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, on Highway 70 in Pierre-Port, and now in LaRose and Lockport as well. The Thibodeau Store and the family of stores down in South Louisiana.
They did play the ABBA song in Bloomington at the Michigan State game.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah, they did. And Max, I heard that the fans delayed so they wouldn't get fined, but the Vanderbilt fans did go on the field after the game.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so they had like a 3-minute delay or something, like pause, and then they waited so they wouldn't get fined.
I've seen that before in basketball, where they delay it and then they rush the court.
They let the opposing teams get off the field.
Yeah.
The home teams want to get into it. Did you see the goalpost come down? The Arizona State Texas Tech game, was that a Fox game or a CBS? It was one of those. Man, it was awesome. So first of all, Texas Tech, we saw the backup quarterback perform pretty high level, maybe even better than the guy in the Utah game.
Yes.
Okay.
Hammond. Yeah, Will Hammond.
He was. They did not. Now, Arizona State was playing really good defense. I don't know. Baron Morton's is the starter. His number's really good for the overall season, maybe against weaker competition. But Leavitt really raised his level of play, even in a loss where I watched tackling 90% of the time is just colliding. It's right. Man, Texas Tech is well coached. They're wrapping up in the open field over and over and over. You can tell they emphasize it in their coaching, in their practices and things like that. And they hung around, and man, they scored, got the ball right back, maybe a turnover, scored again. They got the lead with less than a minute to go, and Leavitt drove them down again, and maybe less than 2 minutes ago. It was a wild game. Arizona State in control for most of it. Texas Tech's going to steal it, and then Leavitt brings them down. Leavitt went from 96 to 84 in passer rating or QBR rating, but he may have showed some life now because he was really, really struggling, this season.
Threw for over 300 after.
Yeah, and that's the number one defense statistically, some stats in the country in Texas Tech. So, but the goalposts, you saw they fold theirs down.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that do that
release.
Yeah, they just
came down way too quickly. I mean,
yeah, you think?
Badly.
Yeah.
You think? It killed somebody.
Texas Tech fans were very upset about that because they're getting banned from throwing the tortillas on the field for safety issues.
Nobody's ever been killed by a flying tortilla.
Meanwhile, the goalposts are
the goalposts
coming down on people.
are a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
They have a point.
Yeah.
I'll take a tortilla up beside the helmet than a goalpost. No, they can't. That was scary.
No, it is scary. I've been down on the field for one.
No, I'm just talking about
rush. Yeah. No, when the goalposts were trying to come down, and it's
well,
to be down there.
You elect, Charlie. You can elect to be around. Listen, that's like somebody on the sidelines, and there's way too many on the sidelines. Okay, if you're just not paying attention, you got to anticipate. You got to play like it's coming your way.
Yeah.
And you got to be. Nobody's forced you to go on the field by the goalposts.
No, but
Okay.
I was down there trying to go in the locker room after the game like we always did, and they had never rushed the field at LSU that I had seen before it came. So if you now okay, there's a good chance it's going to be field rush. That was the first time it ever happened at LSU.
I was on the field for that game.
97 in
and
Florida.
I told a friend, I said, listen, I'm going to Brewbacher's do post game. I was on my motorbike that night, and I said, I'm leaving now, but listen, they're coming. They're coming tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so be careful.
Not going to keep them off the field tonight.
But what's the stat? Max, Ole Miss had we stormed the field the last 2 times against Ole Miss.
No, the one before was a bit of a blowout, as I remember it. But the LSU stormed the field, I know, 3 times.
Well, last year in
2014.
overtime, we beat Ole Miss.
Correct. That was a field storm. Yes.
So two
And
out of the last 3 wins.
Obviously, Ole Miss didn't.
And Ole Miss doesn't storm the field against us now.
Stay off the field. Stay off the field.
See Virginia.
Virginia hasn't had anything really good happen to them in a. I mean, I guess. What do you want to beat Florida State?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying it was.
No, it was. It happened quick.
That was.
I mean, they were on the field almost instantly. That particular night.
Field storm science.
And
brought to you by.
Field storm fade.
I would say it was the fastest field storm since the Bluegrass Miracle, where they were on the field before the game had even ended.
You're right. They were. They were. The guy with the tie. That did all the memes with the guy with the tie.
Don't forget our friends Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Dana's team of specialized attorneys can help you in any way. They certainly have helped Charlie and I. Different reasons for different stages of our lives. Doing some succession work right now. Thank God for Dana Brown and his team of attorneys. Take advantage of that initial consultation. It's free. You can go to the website at ocbrown.com and click on and easily sign up for it. Or give us a call at 343-1111. Downtown Dana Brown. 343-1111 and ocbrown.com.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette.
Say when.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from the original walk-ons next to Campus Burbank and Nicholson. Dwayne Colucci will be with us along with this is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from the original walk-ons Burbank and Nicholson. Joining us from Las Vegas, Dwayne Colucci and Matt Humans, and we're getting you ready for LSU A&M. Live at Lunch from walk-ons, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services from New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. total maintenance.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony is taking it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Tony Vitello finalizing the deal. Hunt's going to be just giddy about this. You know, I always thought of Vitello, to go to the Giants, I always thought of Vitello's strengths as a recruiter.
As a college coach.
Yeah.
Roster building.
As somebody, roster building. And demanding on a football campus that people pay attention to baseball. I thought he was very good at all those things.
He's, very much like Skip when he came here. They were struggling in football when he came in there.
Yeah, he was 7 years ago.
Yeah, and they've never done anything in basketball.
I don't know.
They've never been to the Final Four.
Yeah, I don't know if his strengths translate to the major league level.
No, they don't.
The major league managers are more psychologists.
But with
they are
Pat
coaches.
Murphy?
Pat Murphy was a great one. Now, he was a bench coach in Major Leagues for 8 years before he took the Brewers job.
Okay.
He did have a long run in college at Notre Dame and Arizona State, but he had a run in MLB before that. Vitello's just jumping cold. I always think of it as a psychological thing. There's not much coaching going on at that point.
No,
and I wonder how analytics-based they are, too, San Francisco.
Well, I think much more than the Bochy era, which is their best, but still – I don't know exactly if they're as on that level like the Mets and the Dodgers with their analytics, based things. I mean, you saw it again in Game 7, Seattle. Come on, man, the starting pitcher's doing fine.
Yeah.
Forget going through the third. Let him start going through the lineup for the third time before you yank him, because if you're trying to find a guy that doesn't have it, you found him multiple times on Monday night.
Be interesting to see how this works. Thanks to the folks here at Rocca Pizzeria. Don't forget about them as your holiday catering comes up here very, very shortly here at Rocca. We're happy hours from 2 to 6 Tuesday through Friday. Tomorrow we're at Walk On. Stay tuned for Hunt on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Have you been arrested?
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you, Jordan. Talk to you
Bells are
tomorrow.
a bet tonight.
Hey, I'll
+4.
take it. I know it's like a 4.5 some line.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. Hammer it.
Or something more serious? No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
The Pierre Part Store. And now